What is up, YouTube? This is Lizard Jesus, bringing you guys more Age of Empires mobile content. Today we're gonna be talking about Mansa Musa. This is gonna be more a review rather than a guide. I haven't been able to fight with Mansa Musa in KVK yet, so this review is gonna be more about what he does, what I like about him, the pairings I use for him in my lineup, as well as just the future that I see for this commander. So let's jump in and start off with what my old primary pikeman lineup used to be. So previously for my pikeman, what I used to run was actually a Leonidas primary, Boudica was in third, and Richard was my secondary. So I would run Leonidas primary, Richard secondary, and then Boudica was in the third. That has changed. Believe it or not, I have benched my Richard. I have benched my Richard for two things. The first reason being the star level, and the second reason being that just what Mansa Musa does, I like better. However, Richard is a little bit more unique with what he does because Richard is the only person who does what Richard does. Mansa Musa is going to be dealing a 2-target AoE with a 500% damage ratio, unmaxed. Yes, I said unmaxed. My Mansa Musa is unmaxed, and he is already dealing a 500 damage ratio to 2 targets in an AoE. And he's going to be reducing the enemy commander's armor by a percentage based upon might. So off the rip, what I can tell you about Mansa Musa is that he is a commander, but when you are building through your talent tree, you're going to want to focus lots and lots of might into this commander. Now, after your troop takes 12 normal attacks, it deals a damage to the enemy percentage based on might bonus. Again, Mansa Musa is a commander where you're going to want to put lots of might into it. And he's going to reduce the troops that your damage take by percentage based upon might. Very, very focused around might. This commander is very, very focused around might damage. Here's the thing. As you notice, Mansa Musa is going to trigger this skill after you take 12 normal attacks, counting up to 2 normal attacks per second. What this means is that you cannot be swarmed by 4 people or more and then reach 12 normal attacks very quickly. You can be surrounded by 4 people or more, but it's only going to count 2 normal attacks per second. 2 normal attacks per second. And then once he reaches 12 normal attacks, he's going to release his damage bonus. This is very, very good. This is actually better than Richard, but unfortunately, as much as it's better than Richard, I have, okay, look, let's just jump over to Richard real quick and then just read what he does. So, each time your troop is hit by a normal attack, you gain 1 stack of Mark of the Lionheart, up to 2 stacks per second. Exact same as Mansa Musa. You can't be swarmed by 5 people or more and then gain 5 stacks per second. No, it's only going to count up to 2 stacks per second. So, like Mansa Musa, once you reach 20 stacks, you're going to deal 1 instance of might damage to the guy that you are connected with. Here's the thing, is that Richard triggers this at 20 attacks per second. Mansa Musa triggers this at 12 attacks per second. It's insane. It's insane how good Mansa Musa is compared to Richard. But Richard is not completely benched just because of Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa does have another skill, Golden Odyssey, very, very valuable skill, dedicated to normal attack damage. Per 12 normal attacks, up to 2 times per second, you're going to recover your units by a percentage based upon your might and armor. So this commander, Mansa Musa, you're going to want to invest a lot of might and a lot of armor around him. Recovering your unit's health is going to give you good sustain in the open field. I actually don't like recovery in the open field. As you guys saw in my last video, thus is the reason why I decided to not grab Charlemagne, is because he's dealing so much healing. Healing isn't bad, healing's great. Healing does give you sustain, but I don't think healing is good as a primary skill. However, this skill, Golden Odyssey, is not a primary skill. This is a third skill that you can grab. So I think getting some sustain is going to be really, really good. And it triggers every 12 normal attacks. And I'm going to tell you something right now. When you're in KVK, when you're fighting in the Mightiest Empire, and there's big murder balls, you're going to be getting swarmed lots and lots and lots. Yeah, so off the rip, Mansa Musa is looking really strong. And my new Pikeman lineup is a Mansa Musa primary with a Leonidas secondary and Boudica in the third. Why did I replace my Leonidas primary when my Leonidas is at 3 stars, but my Mansa Musa is at 2 stars? And the reason has to deal with percentage value that you get per star. So let's jump over to Leonidas. Leonidas at 3 stars is going to be increasing his unyielding soul effect from 20% to 24%. Yes, that's insane. It goes from 20% to 24%. A 4 percentage increase is not enough for me to keep using him as the primary. Not to mention that Soul of Unyielding is his second skill. It's not even his active skill. So a 4 percentage of stats is not enough for me to keep using him as the primary, whereas Mansa Musa is doing more. Granted, he's got a 2 target AoE, not 3, but he's going to get 100 initial rage upon entering combat. He's reducing the enemy's armor. He's got all this amazing stuff going on. And this is only Mansa Musa at 2 stars, not 3 stars, not 5 stars. Mansa Musa is a must-have and a must-invest if you are a free-to-play player looking for your Pikeman support buff march. So if you are free-to-play, your lineup is going to be looking like Mansa Musa, Richard Boudica, or Richard, Mansa Musa, and Boudica. So I did replace my Mansa Musa primary with Richard. Or sorry, not Richard. I did replace my primary with Mansa Musa compared to Leonidas. And that's only due to the percentage value that you get from your stars. Let's jump into the talents that he has. So, as I said before, Mansa Musa is a commander that you really want to focus on, which is, as you guys see here, I focused Mansa Musa lots in might and lots in armor. If you guys know these talents, then you know that Mansa Musa is a guy that you want to invest into lots of might and lots of armor. So, overall, my final summary on Mansa Musa is that if you are a free-to-play player, he is a must-have, and he is a must-have if you're free to play. But if you're a low spender like me, Mansa Musa is going to be your Richard replacement. He's going to replace your Richard so that you can pair him with Leonidas and Boudica. However, if you maxed out Richard, if you have a 5-star Richard or even a 3-star Richard, you're not in a bad spot because Richard is still a very good commander. Richard is still amazing at what he does. The only thing is that Mansa Musa is better if you are a spender. Because look, if you're a free to play and you have a maxed out Richard, Mansa Musa and Richard, they're gonna pair so good together. You have to remember something. Mansa Musa only deals damage to 2 targets, whereas Richard is gonna be dealing damage to 3 targets. The reason why I have Mansa Musa as the primary is just for the fact that he has 100 initial rage upon entering battle, so you're gonna be throwing off your active skill a lot more. Yeah, so overall, I think Mansa Musa is more powerful than Richard. Does he replace your Richard? I mean, quite frankly, the answer is... The complicated answer is yes, he does replace your Richard because he is technically better than Richard. But if you have a maxed out Richard, you're probably better off to just pair Mansa Musa with Richard together along with Boudica. But because I am a low spender, if you are a player who is spending a bit in this game, or maybe, hey, listen, maybe you're a player who, maybe you spend a lot, maybe you spend lots in this game, then Mansa Musa, Richard, and Leonidas is going to be your pair to go to. But for the most part, most players who are free to play should be investing in Mansa Musa, Richard, and Boudica, and that's going to be your best Pikeman lineup. It's insane what Mansa Musa does, and it is insane how he is going to be throwing the skill out after every 12 normal attacks. Mansa Musa is throwing your skill out lots and lots and lots. So, final summary is that Mansa Musa is better than Richard, but he's not crazy better. He's not like I hate to break it, but he's not game breaking. He really isn't. He's not game breaking. He's not gonna like completely change how your account's development and growth is in the open field fighting. He is better than Richard, and I would rather have a Mansa Musa than Richard. But if you are a player who maxed out Richard, you're still in a good spot. You're still fine. Richard was a fine investment. Heck, I think Richard was probably a better investment than a lot of other commanders out there. But Mansa Musa is going to be the guy that you either pair with Richard and Boudica or with Leo and Boudica, and that's going to be the way to go. I do think Mansa Musa is usable at 2 stars. As I said, I replaced my Leo, who is 3 stars. So if you are looking for a new addition to your pikeman lineup, Mansa Musa is definitely your guy. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like so that way I know you enjoyed, and I will keep uploading more videos. This has been Lizard Jesus, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.